X marks the spot. This season it's never been truer. Season 10 of Reaver football is upon us. 103 games, an 82% win percentage, a pair of national championship game appearances, and a realistic shot at the trophy every year. It's good to be a Reaver, and this year the squad has unfinished business. Game 1 highlights coming up. This is the Iowa Western Football Coaches Show, the Stroh Show, and it's on the Reaver Sports Network and Iowa Western Television. Another season, another set of question marks for junior college athletics. It's wash and repeat. I'm Jake Ryan, along with Reaver's head football coach Scott Strohmeyer. Coach, 10th season, and I know it feels like you do it all over again every year. How much do you have to remind yourself that these student athletes are new to your system, new to college, new to Council Bluffs?
Well, you'd think you'd get used to it, but really you don't. Each year it's something new, and you got to be patient. With coaches sometimes we're impatient, but you have to learn to be patient because so many new faces.
Well, and you get fewer and fewer reps, it seems, leading up to game number 1. How do you guys handle that? Do you do more classroom work? What do you do? What do you do to get the team ready for game number 1 each season?
Yeah, with the limitations on practice, we got to spend more time in the classroom. We get a couple walkthroughs and just as much time on the board or film room that we can get to try to get them to figure out what we're trying to teach them.
All right, game 1. Let's see if your squad was ready as we take a look at the highlights between Iowa Western and the Red Ravens of Coffeyville from Memorial Stadium in Coffeyville, Kansas. You guys get the opening kick. I know you like to go with the football first, and then you got a new weapon. His name is Michael Zachary. Good return to start the game.
Yeah, he's an explosive little player, and from a return guy and also on offense.
Now Milton Sargba gets the handoff from your starting quarterback, TJ Starks. I know that you're backfield inexperienced, but you were feeling pretty good about him heading into this game.
I was, and it was really good to see Milton rip off the first run and then TJ getting his first completion and back-to-back plays.
Another guy we'll be talking about, there's wide receiver Javante Richardson. He makes the catch, and then a helmet comes popping off as Sargba, maybe not as big a runner as Mekhi Sargent was last year, but certainly the same type of runner.
He is, and he has great vision, and we didn't get a lot of live looks in camp, but it was really pleasant to see him do what he did in week 1.
Sweeps out wide. Now you get Clay Beathard in because TJ, I believe, lost his helmet a couple times. Those new helmets, got to tighten those straps. You don't get any points in the first drive, and it's 4 and out eventually. And then Coffeyville, who you didn't really know what to expect offensively or defensively, Coach Flores bringing in a new OC and DC.
Yeah, and so sometimes you got to feel each other out in these first few drives.
So you employ the defense. The dark side coming in has the most of experience of either side of your defense, or either side of your team. So the defense coming in, you feel pretty good about them. Just get a field goal, right, and you'll be okay?
For sure. Yeah, that's the goal every week. We only need a field goal, and we should win.
Throw to the end zone, a little bit wide out of bounds, and you guys take over on downs.
Yeah, they had one play there, got a first down, and we get the ball back and turn over on downs. We have a mix-up there and have to punt it out of our end zone.
Yeah, Hunter the punter back. It's good to know that you've got some experience on the special teams. And then how about this hit, wrapping them up? Drew Dostal is right there, another one of your experienced members on special teams.
He played last year, and he's a backup at safety and gives great effort on special teams.
Another run to the outside, good pursuit this time by Michael Scott. Not the same character from The Office, but somebody that I'm sure that Russ will make a few jokes as we go throughout the season.
Well, here we go.
We talked about this.
Yeah, we wish we could have this one back. We had a little mix-up, in a protection backside with our back, and we forced one. You can't do that.
Well, it doesn't help that he was popped as he threw as well. It takes a little bit off that ball. And then Elias Bell there with Malcolm Lee, man, he had a game.
He did. He was player of the game. We voted him as a staff, and then you get a chance to put it in number 1's hands. You got a chance to do good things.
Yeah, nearly got himself a first down according to the chains on that return. So it sets you up in pretty good field position. TJ Starks going to work, the transfer out of KU. Talk about what he did in fall camp to earn the job.
Well, I think between him and Clay, they both had good camps. I think TJ, from his athleticism, you can see how he can escape and make a big play with his feet.
So the Reavers, no score with the Red Ravens in the first quarter, and then the second quarter starts, and then Milton Sargba gets you right into the red zone. In fact, all the way inside. It's 1st and goal. And then, we'll throw to the back shoulder there. Great catch by Javante Richardson. Touchdown Reavers. It's the first score of the year, and it's a new combination, number 2 to number 8.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I mean, it was good. You know, we had something rolling, and we got down there, and you got to get that first red zone score.
Here's more pursuit. Michael Scott pushing the quarterback to the outside. Great job by the backers and the defensive backs to come up and push him out of bounds. And then another Red Raven attempt at the run. Nowhere to go. Look at how hard he's running, and I think about a gain of 3 yards on that play.
I'll tell you what, our front seven played extremely well and controlled the line of scrimmage.
Reavers get another push, and you see the bodies just unstacking, and then they get a snap over the head, forces them way back. It's 3rd and forever. And again, the Red Ravens just nowhere to go. The defense swarming, and all white unis, but it certainly was the dark side, true to form.
For sure. You know, when they make a mistake and then we get a sack and you know, get good field position.
Starks to the outside, good run, throw to the end zone, a little bit high, but you get the penalty marker because guess what? He held on to him, couldn't make that jump. So you get 1st and goal, time running down the second quarter, and then a little bit of miscommunication. TJ loses the football, but Milton's right back on it. What was the thinking here as you set up for the field goal as the clock runs down?
Well, you know, we had no timeouts left, and there was 30 seconds, and I didn't think they were going to stop the clock. And so I'm trying to get the unit out there, and then they stopped the clock. We probably could have got one more play, but you know, we missed an opportunity in the red zone earlier, and I just wanted to make sure that we got some points. We had a mental error there that kind of, you know, I'm like, let's just get points out here and let's make some corrections at halftime.
So a 2-score game at the half. Coffeyville never quits. We know that. We've seen the Reavers have a lead erased at that stadium. So the question is, can the Reavers close them out in game 1? We will find out when we come back. There's more Stroh Show right after this on the RSN and IWTV.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face, in your face,
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Well, halftime speeches are a thing of legend. We've seen them in TV shows, we've seen them in movies, we've read them in the newspaper, and of course, we've seen them in magazines. So, Coach, I ask you right now, rate your halftime, not this particular one, but overall in your whole legacy of coaching. Talk about, on a scale of 1 to 10, everything from Vince Lombardi to the guy in Van Wilder, 1 to 10. Where would you rate your halftime speeches?
I'm going to say 2 to 3. I'm not a big...
I think you're selling yourself short. I really do.
I don't know.
So, okay, so if you think that you're a 2 or 3, who do you go to when you need some fire at halftime on your staff?
Well, we got, you know, Coach Woods can get him fired a little bit. Coach Tollefson has.
I was going to say, do you ever let Tollefson talk?
Tollefson did the bowl game but when we played Georgia Military before the game, I never heard the guys were fired up.
How about Coach Baumgartner? Do you ever let him talk?
No.
Okay. So what did you say to him at halftime? You're up 10-0. Game number 1 of the season. Defense is playing well. They've got the experience. The offense has a bunch of new faces, and obviously they've got some wrinkles to work on.
Well, I really just told them, you know, we just got to shore up some of our mistakes. I thought we had to clean up some things defensively, but offensively, more importantly, it was really just mental errors. for the guys to stay focused if they're not getting the playing time. I could see some, disappointed faces, but like I said, we're still trying to learn the rotation schedule and how we're going to do it. And but I thought we did better in the second half. We still had some first game errors that we can't have in week 2, but just to finish it off. Our goal was to win the game. If it wasn't, it's our first one. We had a lot of new faces, and I thought we did well.
All right, well, let's take a look at those. After one half of play in the third quarter, it'll be the Red Ravens that get the ball under the lights. Man, Hunter Pinniger was feeling it, kicking out of the end zone on a consistent basis.
That was good. I think 3 of 4 he kicked touchbacks. So, that's always good when you don't have to worry about returning, and there's always a dangerous return guy back there.
The Red Ravens trying some wrinkles. They get a new man in the Wildcat look, one of their wide receivers coming in to run the show early on in the half, and then they seem to have some center quarterback exchange problems as well.
They did, I think it really helped us, and here we get a sack because the quarterback, what people don't understand is the timing that takes it off just by reaching down to catch a snap or high.
Nice job there by TJ Starks reaching out, getting a first down for the Reavers. Very mobile QB. When he doesn't find anything downfield, he's been smart so far.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He gives us a chance, and here he creates one, after nothing's open. So we need guys like that. Nice catch by Breon Michelle, and then again, you give the ball to your backs. It's Gator Flomo and Milton Sargbaugh here in the second half, and then a throw to the outside. Michael Zachary, look at that strength. He's wrestled last year and placed at the national meet, 149. He punches it in there, just a little bit below 160 playing football this fall for you. I'll tell you what, he is tough. Like people say he's smaller, but if he's at 160, he's plays a lot bigger than that.
Chester Graves thought maybe he had an interception, throws that paw out there, bats the ball down, and then on the next play, you talked about it, 70 yards. If Chester intercepts that pass right there does not happen.
For sure. I could go back numerous times or something like that. You give them a little bit of life and give them one more opportunity, and they took advantage of it, and we can't give up those big ones though.
So from 16-0 to 16-6, they're back within 2 scores. They were trying to make it 1 score on a 2-point conversion and couldn't get it. And then Michael Zachary gives you great field position one more time.
Huge weapon. It's a huge weapon to get it close to midfield, and here Milton cuts his own play back, and for a nice gain there. Yeah, the Omaha North grad, of course, he is the starter, and then again you're feeding it down. Great catch by one of your returners, Nick Singleton. I think that was a 4th down, or for sure 3rd down, 4th down completion or conversion. Pinniger going for the field goal. That one's good. Makes it 19-6. A little bit more breathing room. You're up 13, but they're still within 2 touchdowns. Well, for sure, and that's why we want to get obviously touchdowns when we got a chance like that. And I was told that was not a body slam. That was a suplex by Elias Bell on that play. Very good play by Elias. And then, of course, they nearly get a turnover there. And then Marcel Barbie, one of the kids that is new and everybody's excited about out of Pueblo, he makes the block, and then Hayden Hatcher will get the recovery. Nice job there by the special teams unit. I'll tell you what, it was really because we really didn't have a block on, so Marcel gave great effort there, and Hayden could pick it up, and we just scored there. Look at the fancy footwork of Clay Bethard. A little bit of trouble, steps out of the pocket, and then up into it and gets a nice run as he rips off a good chunk of yards, gets you into the red zone. Big 3rd down for Clay there, and 3rd and long. And he came in some tough situations, but wish we'd had this one back. Well, unfortunate there. It looked like Javante Richardson was coming down with it. The D-back just pulled it and pried it away from him. And then, man, what a bumble that was. That was another touchdown if that shoestring wasn't grabbed by your dark side defense. For sure. Again, they got some firepower, and we gave them a little bit of time, and they got behind us. 4th quarter coming up. Devin Drew getting his name in the stat sheet, gets the quarterback sacked, forces the fumble, and Malcolm Lee coming up with the loose ball and another big turnover for the dark side. It was huge. They get a big play and they don't get to score on that drive, and then you get a sack and a fumble here. So the Reavers just have to run out the clock, and it'll be TJ Starks stepping up. He will do just that, runs down the sideline. If only he could stay in bounds on that play to keep that clock running, but another 1st down, so it stops the clock briefly anyway. And then here is another handoff to Gator Flomo, guy that redshirted in your system last year. Yeah, it's good to see him get some plays, and you got to convert 1st downs and keep the clock moving. but we have to give up one more opportunity, I think.
Incomplete pass on the sideline. Red Ravens didn't press as much as I thought they would in the fourth quarter. They turn the ball back over and the Reavers go to work. Javante Richardson, one of his 5 catches, loses his helmet on the sideline. Also, you got to talk to Frank Prazen about getting those helmets tightened.
I'll tell you what, we have to, because we can't be, that one was third down there. We wanted to get that one there, and that keeps the clock moving, but we had too many guys leaving because of helmets.
They'll chuck it down the field as the game draws to an end. Corey Hernandez camps out underneath this first interception of the season for the Dark Side. And Corey, one of the guys that you bring in the offseason, and he gets down. You see Coach Blackburn there on the sideline telling him to get down. Would have been nice to get 6 on the defensive side, but you got to make sure you preserve what's going on in the ballgame.
And that's always the tough thing. When you got a couple scores, and when the game's over now, let's not be crazy. And injuries, and sometimes with returns, and they get a crackback block or something. So just good to get down and get out of there with a victory.
So you win the turnover battle, but just barely. And a couple of the turnovers that you had were created by the fact that just trying to create opportunities. I know that Starks' interception was when he was getting hit as he threw, and then you look at Beathard's interception. That ball was on the money. Javante just had it pulled away from him, so that's almost a completion for a touchdown on that play. And then a few fumbles in the game that you didn't lose them. You only lost 1, but again, just a little bit of miscommunication with the offense as they were getting their feet under them.
And those were the things. We had 7 false start penalties. We can't have those. That we're just giving up 5 yards, and we're too young right now to be putting us in 1st and 15. So we got to show those up. The fumbles were just a miscommunication across the board, and again, a lot of those things happen from week 1. We hope that they don't, but that's what you see across the board. And we're going to have to improve now. We can't have those week 2.
Yeah, well, 1-0 after week 1, and that's what you're looking for. A guy that we have talked about quite a bit so far in the show will join us in the studio next. The RSN's Brent Pentecost will sit down with defensive lineman Atlias Bell when we return on the Stroh Show. It's only on Iowa Western Television.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on it.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
When it comes to saving money,
What?
don't act like a baby.
Oh, it's like they're having their own little meeting. This is so humiliating.
Be the boss.
I'm the boss.
What the?
Power nap. You were saying.
And make a budget.
Let's get to work.
Need a little help?
Stacy, read back the notes.
I can't read. What's it say?
Create a personalized savings plan and get other tools and tips
We can share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
at feedthepig.org.
From the studios of Iowa Western Television, this is the Coach Stroh Show. I'm Brent Pentecost. A fast start to the 2018 season, and the Reavers' dark side defense is picked up right where they left off. Joining me now is sophomore defensive lineman Atlias Bell. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Atlias Bell's right.
Pretty unique name. Is there kind of a story at all behind it?
My dad's name's Atlas, so my mom just decided to name me Atlias, which is Atlas with an I, so it's really after my father.
Not a bad way to get a name at all. Named after your dad. 9 tackles, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. Quite a game to start the season for you individually. What are your thoughts on the game?
I think we did good defensively. I think in the game I just try to switch my stances up and just try to remember my 3 moves my coach told me to do and just go as fast as I can at full speed, and eventually it worked out. And I had a good job from my other teammates like Elijah and Malcolm Lee. Returning sophomores also helped me out.
Strong game overall by the defense, and it seems like you guys really actually picked up, as we stated earlier, right from last year at the dark side. Has that been something you guys have been kind of harping on to some of the younger players in the locker room about how to get through for this year compared to last year?
Oh yeah, we always took pride in our defense. Even when some of the young guys came in the spring ball, we always just tried to pick up when we left off. Remember having good guys last year and how prideful we were in our defense. So we just try to like preach it to them, and they did a good job. So
what's it been like coming from your high school, Dowling Catholic in Des Moines, to Council Bluffs? I mean, one powerhouse to obviously another powerhouse in the college realm.
It was kind of a change, but not that much, because Coach Stroh reminds me of Coach Wilson a lot, and the way they coach and the coaching styles, and how Dowling takes pride in their defense, the defense-driven team, and that's the same way here. So, and I have teammates from Dowling who went here. Kurt Walding was here. Willie O'Hara's here now, so it hasn't been that much of a change for me.
That's good. That's good. What kind of expectations do you have for this season, both for you personally and, of course, for the team?
My goal personally is for me to lead the team in sacks and tackles for loss, and I know for defense, our goal is to have as much shutouts as we can on other teams, and for the team is to go to the national championship. So we just got to take it one game at a time, and we should be fine.
Lofty expectations, but I believe that you guys will easily be able to achieve those. So good luck for the rest of the year. Hopefully we're calling your number all the way to the championship game in Pittsburgh, Kansas in December. We'll wrap up this edition of The Stroh Show when we come back. For Elias Bell, I'm Brent Pentecost. More after this on Iowa Western Television and the Reaver Sports Network.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. Why would you do that?
Probably okay isn't okay. Call a cab, a car, or a friend.
Good choice.
I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the Creative Galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box.
Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Every week, and the Reavers learned the hard way last season that one slip-up can cost you no matter how talented the team. This week, it is the Kinney Cup, and there's a renewed excitement. This is the first time, Coach, that you've ever played Iowa Central when both of you have been undefeated. You played a couple times when you've been 1-0 and they've been 0-0, and you've played, of course, the very first game ever in program history when you were both 0-0, and that, coincidentally enough, is the last time that they left with a victory. You have won 9 straight ball games. 1 year, 2013, you guys played twice in the season, but it's been an undefeated run since 2009 against Iowa Central. That's a lot to have on the line, not only for you guys. Obviously, you want to hold that up, but that's a building block for some motivation for them. Coach Montalto in his first season, and you look back at what's happened over the course of the years, it hasn't been much of a rivalry. Iowa Western's won games and won them pretty handily for the most part. So you've got your end to uphold. You know that they've got some motivation to leave with a win. What do you know about the Tritons, and how do you emphasize that this is not the same Iowa Central team that you've seen the last 9 years?
Well, and I talked to him a little bit Friday, or Saturday, I'm sorry, when we had a team meeting, that it's not the typical Iowa Central team that everybody thinks or thought of, in the past, when we would come in and we were just more talented than them, and if we play our stuff, we're going to win. And then they go out and beat Butler, who was preseason 13th in the country. So if that didn't open their eyes enough, I don't know what will. But obviously, he's changing the culture. He's got a great vision there at Iowa Central. He's done a great job in recruiting and bringing some players in. Now put that on top of trying to knock Iowa Western off, and they're number 2 in the country. What a great chance for them, to kind of get this thing turned in the right direction, just like we did in 2010 when we beat Grand Rapids at home. Maybe not a lot of people thought we could win, and not that they took us lightly, but it kind of gave us a turning point in the program. And
sure. So
they're going to be ready to go. We'll have our guys hopefully ready to go as well, and I'm kind of excited. It's a big rivalry game, or we deem it as a rivalry game, and it's going to come back. Obviously, the Kinney Cup, we want to keep it here, and I think our guys will be ready.
Now, Coach Montalto, he's coached at Ellsworth the last 4 seasons. You know that he always has his squads ready to play. We saw it last year when you guys went to Ellsworth. That was a struggle to leave with a victory. Now he's got a little bit more ammunition in his pockets. So what do you expect as far as what do you think they're going to throw at you?
Yeah, we get the film, and their defense is different than the defense coordinators ran the last 5 or 6 years that he's been at Iowa Central. And I think Jesse will do a lot of the similar stuff that he does offensively that he did when he was at Ellsworth. Everybody's going to have wrinkles. We're going to have wrinkles. They're going to have wrinkles. But going off of week 1, it's a little bit different. Like I said, they got a bunch of talent, and my focus right now is to make sure we correct our errors, and not so much on who they're going to throw out there, because every team we play is going to be talented. But we can't beat ourselves in the penalties and the turnovers, and if we can do that, we got a chance to win the ball game.
All right. Well, we'll have another 8 weeks of games after this. Of course, the Stroh Show will be on the air after every game. We've got a couple of bye weeks, and then you look at the rest of the schedule. Now, you've only got 9 games left, because you're down 1 game this year. So we're looking at a total of 11 games if you make a bowl. What was the thinking on leaving those 2 open dates?
Well, the first one was like last year when they said that you play non-scholarship school, that it hurts you in the rankings, and that was not really the driving force, because I always want to play as many games as we can. The biggest thing is just the physical nature of this conference, and we played 8 straight weeks against the Jayhawk last year, and then we go play Ellsworth and Iowa Central and College DuPage, and we were shorthanded. That Ellsworth game, I think we had 11 or 12 guys out in our 2 deep, and so I think just from a rest and getting healthy, or maybe not as much depth as we've had in the past, that you play 3 games, you rest a week. You play 4, you rest a week, and hopefully that helps them academically as well.
All right. Well, that does it for the first edition of the Stroh Show for the 2018 season. As I said, 9 more regular season games to go, and it starts Saturday with the battle for the Kinney Cup, 2:30 kickoff from Titan Stadium in Council Bluffs. If you can't make the game, of course, we welcome you to tune us in on 89.7 The River, or to watch the game on Reaver Vision. That link is available at GoReavers.com. For Brent Pentecost and the Reavers at Elias Bell, head coach Scott Strohmeyer, and of course the IWTV crew, I'm Jake Ryan, reminding you that we will be back next week. And until then, wear your blue, be loud, and go Reavers.